Now I put it back on. Worked good. This air bleed screws and this top jet kind of plugged up. But now that third cylinder back there runs good. The second one's still kind of dead. Turned out I can take this air screw here in the front, take it all the way out, in and out, makes no difference. So this carburetor's still plugged up, but I got some good dairyman down there, and it cleaned this other back carburetor up real good. And I put a vacuum gauge on it here. It's pulling 20 pounds of vacuum. And so I can adjust my air screws and idle and stuff. But runs a lot better, starts easy, sounds pretty good. The idle's way high. I don't really know what to do about that, because both of these carburetors now are shut where they shouldn't be idling at all. But anyway, song for another day. I'll pull this one apart tomorrow and blow it out good with good carburetor cleaner. And it was doing pretty good. Both of the air screws were working until I fixed the back one. So I could still have some kind of a air leak or a piece of dirt or something in it. Obviously, if I would have taken them apart, boiled them out in carburetor cleaner and put a kit in them, I'd probably be done with all that. But that's what I get for just trying. But I got it up on jack stands, and I can put on the brakes and gas it now, and you can see the whole motor and frame and everything twist. It's got plenty of power. I'm going to have to put some kind of a cross member in there in that frame. I thought I was going to have to do that, but I got messing around with everything else. I got an oil leak here. It's that, see right there where it's leaking, and also same hose up here is leaking a little. So anyway, I'll pull that off of there and seal it a little better, tighten it up good. Cut both those hoses the same length. But basically, that carburetor's working good. My vacuum fans, I've got it. Yeah. Into everything. But got the floorboards mounted good, and pretty much mocked up. I got this where it's shifting good. My permanent deal here. So hopefully by the end of tomorrow I'll get that carburetor cleaned up, and all this. I'll pull that floorboard out once more. Some kind of a brace to put into this frame. But just to give you a little taste of how it starts. You'll hear it missing on one cylinder. Fire it right out. Good enough for government work. Well, I confronted my oil leak. I used some gasket sealing material in there. It worked okay on that one side, but apparently I didn't get enough on this one. And so it was leaking. I figured I'll just take them both off while I'm here. Put some Teflon thread tape on them, snug them back up, and this should stop this leak. This oil, you know, it's really dirty. It smells bad too. But I put a quart of Rizlone in it, which is supposed to free sticky lifters. You can see it's pretty bad looking. Anyway, hopefully that Rizlone will clean some of the carbon and stuff out of here. I'll probably run the motor an hour or so altogether. And looks like I just filled my little nuts full of oil. And we'll just change all this, but first thing is get my leak stopped. I'll put these in, bolt it back up, see how that works. Well, there's that done. Shorten my hose. Made a little cleaner right here. Throw a couple wire ties on it. Kind of cleaned the motor off here. Got most of the oil out. So, been not confronting that for a while. Nice to have it done. Well, here's a end of another endless struggle. I've got this floorboard in good and solid, straight, mounted down all 4 bolts. It ain't moving at all. It's really quite a trick to get that in. I had to trim this some more around that transmission, and but I got it flush up against the thing. You got to reach in from the other side to tighten the bolts here. This one's so hard to get to that I didn't use these carriage bolts. I used a regular bolt so I could put a wrench on it and tighten it up with a socket. So I don't look too bad. Only one here in the corner that's different, and it's all good and tight. Now I'm going to take that collar off that steering wheel, make sure I got room there, and it looks like my accelerator pump and everything, or accelerator, is still in the right position. So this was a project. It took me a few hours to get this thing in and solid, but it's in there really solid now. That should stiffen the body up quite a bit. Still haven't mounted the floorboard, but now I'm going to move on to this transmission deal here. I haven't got the right washers in that adjuster there. Shifter's working, but it's not good and solid. It's all just sitting in here kind of loose right now. So I gotta take that loose and take off that little nut. Try to get some washers on it, get that mounted in good and solid, and finish mounting my kick down there. My speedometer didn't work. I think probably the inside gear's messed up, but I'm just going to leave that hanging there for now, and maybe I'll get either go buy a big socket. It's about 1.25 inches, or it's pretty big. Take that off and see if I can fix it. If not, I'll put a GPS speedometer in it. Got my beautiful little Oldsmobile horn button, and it just happened to snap right into that hole. Plugged it up beautifully. So now I got the floorboard in. I'm gonna make sure that my steering column's all right, and probably put on a steering wheel. Anyway, moving along. I started looking up here. The suspension steering is really tight, and so I got looking in here, and it's hitting the floorboard's hitting the steering column. So I think I can reach in there with a sawzall and a kind of curved blade and cut this without scratching it up too bad or anything. So I'll do that and see if my steering loosens up. Alright, well, I got up in there with a sawzall as much as I could. I probably chewed up the shiny stuff, but it's under there, you can't see it. And you can see I've obviously got a little room now, so now I can go ahead and take a look at my linkage up here. Yeah, see, now they're moving around, so now I can just take this one was a little bit. It comes about right there. I still got a lot of room in there on my battery. This feels pretty tight. Wheel looks pretty good. I can put this plate back on here, and that'll help it even more. So anyway, that looks like that was a success, and any scratching I did to the wheel you can't ever see anyway. It'll be up inside there. So looks like the steering will be working again. Yeah, front brakes. Throttle stuff here, I'll be finishing this up today. That's what I was working on before. And this kick down, before I got up in here into my steering shaft, and I got a couple of washers here we're going to put on it in just a minute. Well, first thing I'm going to do is got the seat pretty much where it needs to go. I can still come over here some more, but it's still up against my leg, so I'm going to just unscrew it and find a little bit better boards and screw it back down. Here it is, Mr. Shifter. It's in park right now. I can get it into that would be neutral first. It's hitting right there. Once it hits first, I have to either get into lockout mode here. Oh man, let me figure this thing out, see what I got wrong here. Well, here's what I got for now. I found some pretty good pine pieces here, and they're solid. I bored holes in them, and I screwed this down to the floorboard. It's working good right now. It's in park, so that would be drive, third, second, and first gear, and then all the way back is reverse. So coming forward, ratchet shifting. This would be reverse, first, second, third, fourth, we drive, and then should be neutral, which it is, and then you hear a clank for the park in this one. So everything sounds good. Reverse to first, but no, this reverse First good, first, second, third, fourth, neutral, and park. So the squeaking is this floorboard over here. I haven't really got it bolted down good. Anyway, so I was able to adjust the linkage where I wanted it. I'll get back under there and tighten that all up. And it's a little far over here to the right, but you know, it's where I can put my knee here. Not much room for the passenger, but I could maybe move it over an inch or so more. But so far I just got a couple screws in it. I haven't really decided to mount it down permanent there. There's a final dash deal. It's all bolted in. I was going to put another bolt right here, but time it all, got 3 of them bolted in there. It's pretty solid and not really moving. So that's a kind of a finished product on that. Need to put my dimmer in there. Might have to move it a little bit, but I think it's about right. And put a blue LED in here for the high beam. You can see that it's really bright. Fuel pressure is good. The lights, I've got a little bit of light in there, and the light and the speedometer, of course, it don't work, and the water temperature's got a good light. See that in there. So the dash is done. Got all the wires tucked up under there. Need to put a few screws in that thing there. And then got this pretty much done. Now cut me a piece of wood for that shifter. Mount it. Get that all set up the way I want it before I get too carried away and bolting this floorboard down. And I don't want to put the wheel on until I kind of get this done, because once it's on, it's kind of hard to work around it. But pretty much all done. Linkage still working good. I've got to have to knock a freeze pedal plug out down there. I put a rubber one in, you can see it laying there, but when you tighten it up, it just squishes itself out. Anyway, get that shifter finished up and moved over. It's just way too far on the passenger side. Maybe I'll make some kind of a transmission tunnel. I know wind's going to come blowing up out of that thing. Well, there we go. Steering's in. See the tachometer good enough. See the fuel level, oil, speedometer close enough. Unfortunately, right in the middle of my, right here is eye level. I got my turn signal indicators not really showing up. Lower my head a little, but this is my normal vision. I can see them a little over it. So that was probably not a good place to put them. I should probably put them down in here somewhere. But anti-canceling works, or the not anti-canceling, Canceling works on them both ways. Here's a click there, that's a horn relay. Got this pretty much, it's a little bad right at the top, but the bottom works good, all the sides. It can get out, and there's a steering wheel and gauges and stuff. It's all pretty much put in there. I've got to do a little bit more on the steering linkage down there and weld a piece. And just cleaning up my wires there. Final mounting on that thing. But it's ready to run and drive. I need to get a windshield in it. Still waiting on carburetor kits, but we're close to the home stretch.